So, as I run through all of the Power Rangers seasons in my head, mentally, right? I start with, of course, the great ones. Then I go to the mediocre ones. Then I go to the bad ones. And then I go to the, okay, god damn it, what were y'all thinking? This ain't working seasons. And every single time I get to the, god damn it, what was y'all thinking seasons of Power Rangers, I always forget one. And the one I'm always forgetting is Power Rangers Turbo. Because when I tell you Turbo is something, oh, we shifting today. Turbo is something real awful.
Power Rangers Turbo Go! Power Rangers Turbo Go! Power Rangers Turbo Go!
Power Rangers Turbo was indeed an interesting decision for Saban to make in 1997. Because you go from dinosaurs in season 1 of Mighty Morphin to a dragon, a firebird in season 2, a bear, a wolf, a frog, an ape, a falcon, a crane in season 3, to an Egyptian theme in Zeo, to cars? Cars! How did we get here? And that was the wrong decision for them to make. But we're going to get into that later on. After pushing through the epic movie that was Power Rangers Turbo, and pushing through 50 episodes of the Turbo season, I want you to see the pain in these eyes. I've seen stuff that the normal human has not seen. I am in no mood to be nice. Power Rangers Turbo sucks. Now, the plot of this season revolves around an evil space pirate named Divatox that is after the Turbo Rangers because they spoiled her plans in the Turbo movie. And she wants to not only destroy them, but she wants to control the entire planet Earth. Oh, let's shift into Turbo and destroy this motherfucking season. Now, the season opens up with Tommy Oliver racing around a racetrack. I want you to get used to seeing this because you're going to see it like 5 to 10 more times before he leaves the show. They use the same shot over and over again. But anyway, when he's racing around a racetrack, they're trying to get across to you as a member of the audience. Hey, the theme is cars, in case you didn't know, in case you're just that stupid. What the first episode confirmed to me is that each season of Power Rangers prior to Turbo was 1 year in high school for the team. Because at the beginning of this season, they're graduating from Angel Grove High. And that was great for a multitude of reasons. One, it kind of gives the prior seasons a little bit more epicness because you can see freshman, sophomore, junior, senior while you're watching it. But also because the cast is old. They old. Like, Catherine Sutherland was walking around this season with a grown woman body. Like, come on, bruh. You can't be trying to tell me they in high school no more. Jason David Frank looked too old to be around anybody who went high school. And if he is, that's a problem. Somebody need to call 911. And when you talk about the cast being significantly older, Saban was not comfortable with the Rangers being out of high school. There are so many moments in this season where you can tell that they're struggling to come up with concepts for young adult Rangers. In the beginning portions of the season, they spend a lot of time chasing around bombs with detonation switches that Divatox plants at different places in Angel Grove. So they'll spend a whole episode chasing around a bomb. You want to know why they did that? Because Saban had no idea what they were doing in terms of writing. They didn't really want to give these characters a moment outside of being high schoolers. They didn't want to go for any type of maturity. So they were like, oh no, they got to chase around bombs the whole season. And with them being an older group of Rangers, that makes Justin even more annoying. That makes Justin even more cringy of a Power Ranger because they want to amp it up a little bit. Okay, let's make them horny little 18-year-olds, right? Because there's a scene like episode 11 where Adam is at the beach talking to Justin. And he's trying to give him this, real older person to a younger person speech. And Adam is looking at a smoking hot babe who's on the beach. And Justin is looking at a little girl.
Thanks for helping me out, Adam. Adam! Hey, Adam! Hey, Adam! Hey!
Oh, no problem. You can ask me to take you to the beach anytime.
I guess if I have to do science homework, measuring the changes in the tide is not such a bad idea.
Cringe! Cringe, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just the first cringe for the review. Cringe. What are y'all doing, Saban? Before I destroy this season too thoroughly, let me say this. I love the fact that the show connects back to the Turbo movie, proving that the movie is canon to the show because that's where they get their turbo abilities from. So if you're ever going to binge watch the Zordon era Rangers, you do have to watch the Turbo movie after Zeo. I like the fact that the movie is canon because that's where Justin's character arc begins. That's where they get their abilities. But that's like the only damn near nice thing I had to say about this season. Bulk and Skull this season get turned into chimps, monkeys, orangutans, gorillas, silverbacks, whatever the fuck you want to say, they get turned into chimps. And it's super cringy because they dub over with the Bulk and Skull actors' voices and they try to match it with the monkey's mouth movements. Oh man, it can't get no worse than this. But it got worse. Towards the back end of the season, Bulk and Skull get turned invisible. Oh God. Look, they were cringy in Mighty Morphin. They were cringy in Zeo. But at least they had character. At least you could see where they were going. They were having development slowly through each season. But now, to go to chimps, to being turned invisible, is just... Oh, Saban, we love you. Oh, Saban. As you watch the beginning portion of Turbo, specifically the portion with the original cast, before the cast winds up getting changed later on in the season, you'll notice that Jason David Frank, aka Tommy Oliver, is not in a lot of these episodes. And if he is, he's in it for like 5 minutes. And if he is in it for an extended period of time, his voice is dubbed over a lot of Japanese footage, leaving Kat, Adam, and Tanya with a lot of character moments. And I thought that that was satisfying for them, considering that Tommy Oliver does get a lot of screen time prior to Turbo. So giving those characters opportunities to develop was really cool by the writers. I've heard a lot of people go in on Divatox over the years and complain about her character. In my opinion, she was made in the same realm as Rita Repulsa, right? But the problem I have with Divatox is her performance. The actress that plays her, she says every line like this, and she yells and goes, "Ugh!" and complains about her beauty and her stupid nephew Elgar every episode. It's very annoying how she talks like that.
Could have finished the Rangers! You almost had them! You never stop in the
Rock-a-lot!
Well, duh! I don't care if it exploded! You stick with it!
And let's talk about the people around her. Elgar, the big penis head. He's not what Goldar was in the beginning. He's not what Rito was. At no point this season does Elgar ever hold a threat to any of the Rangers. Porto, I don't even know what the hell that is. I'm gonna just move on. When you get to the blue toilet dude, he never held a threat at any point in the season. And when you look at those three goons, and you look at Divatox, look at the three goons, look at Divatox, look at the three goons, and look at Divatox. Very clearly, they were designed to make Divatox look sexually appealing. That's right, I went there. Until a little boy in 1997, it was alright with me. But as an adult, it is cringe. I believe it was like around episode 3 or episode 4, you get a big bomb dropped on you. If you are somebody that's been following that franchise since the beginning seasons, you learn that Zordon is leaving and going to Altar, his home planet, and Alpha 5 is going with him. So you're like, oh my God, who are the Rangers going to have to depend on? Oh no, they got 2 people coming in that are going to help the Rangers out. They're going to be so useful. They're going to be fan favorites. Everybody's going to love them. And they introduce Dimitri and Alpha 6. Take it away.
Tommy, you really don't get it, do you? Demetria is from Inquirus. Inquirus, like inquire. She doesn't give answers, she asks questions.
Yeah, but Zordon
Yo! Look, she ain't Zordon. And you don't have a lot of time, so you better get with the program, Slick.
Do y'all see what I had to deal with? Do y'all see what I had to deal with? For 45 episodes of Alpha 6. Alpha 6 is beyond terrible.
Alright, Alpha 6, the latest and the greatest in a long line of alphas. Hey kid, why don't you take a picture of something? It'll last longer.
He is extremely annoying. And if you think Alpha 6 is annoying, look at the homegirl Dimitri. Dimitri is so useless in this season. She answers every question with a question. So Tommy Oliver will come up to Dimitri and say, hey Dimitri, how do we stop Divatox's monster? The monster is using air against us. Her answer would be something crazy. In 1993, how many points did Michael Jordan score in the NBA Finals? What? In The Wizard of Oz, how did Dorothy get carried away? What did she get carried away by? A tornado? Yes, Rangers. The answers are inside of you. She is so useless. She comes from a planet called... I don't know what her planet was called, man. Look, give me the guy in the tube. Give me the floating head. When you look at Dimitri's entire design, it's just uncreative. It's a woman in a tube wearing a ninja outfit. It's a woman in a tube wearing a turban. Looking like the chick from Hunchback of Notre Dame. What? Looking like a ninja. What is this? Why is she so poorly designed? Why can't she answer a fucking question? Since Turbo did come out in 1997, and you no longer have the Mighty Morphin excuses, I'm expecting for a Sentai delivery, Sentai entry in a season to be very good. I'm expecting for it to flow naturally with an episode because everybody knows enough now to be able to have it be creative. But man, it is some of the worst Sentai entries in the entire franchise. There are moments where Adam is racing around in a go-kart. Ain't nobody gonna explain where that go-kart came from. Like, I thought they had turbo vehicles. Why is he going down the street in a buggy? Is anybody gonna tell me what's going on? And then there are so many moments where Rangers are trying to solve problems by racing. And it's all Sentai footage. Even to the point where they're chasing monsters on foot. And you can see Japanese streets. I can see Japanese signs all over the place. Like, it is so lazy. And the laziness for the Sentai footage even gets to the point where they'll give you an entire scene that is all Sentai. I'm talking from the beginning to the middle to the end. There was numerous episodes towards the back end of this season where an entire fight sequence was Sentai. I'm like, damn, why don't y'all just get a damn paycheck to the people in Japan? Look, the Blue Centurion is a dope concept. He's kind of like the Power Rangers DC Comics equivalent to that of Green Lantern, right? An intergalactic police force. It's a cool idea. His design is like a more robotic, less humanoid RoboCop. But he should have stayed Sentai because they don't really know what to do with him in the season. He comes and he goes at so many random times that it just doesn't make sense. And he feels significantly out of place. I was hanging on by a thread, y'all. I was hanging on. Boy, that was me right there, boy. I was messed up. But once you get to the passing of the torch episode, and you are introduced to TJ and Cassie after already being introduced to Ashley and Carlos earlier on in the season, the whole show flows way better because now Saban is comfortable again. All of those Rangers are in high school, so they can go with the stereotypical positive messages. They can have more episodes that are themed around things and emotions that kids feel. This is where Saban's really comfortable. But it wouldn't be Saban without a little bit of cringe.
Watch me.
And even Blake Foster, the actor that played Justin, you can tell in his performance how much more comfortable he feels with a younger cast, even if it's just by a few years, instead of the original cast. Think about young adults being around a kid versus teenagers being around a kid. It's just easier for the kid to kind of function and be themselves. And Blake Foster's character is a little bit better in the second half of Turbo. The second half of the Turbo cast, the Rangers all look great together. I mean, maybe it's because this is also the space cast minus Justin, but they look great together on screen. You can see every single cultural background is being tackled, but they all blend together so great that when I think about Power Rangers Turbo, I honestly think about this cast first. One thing that really stuck out to me early on was that with this group, you don't have any love interest. Now, you can speculate that early on they were trying to set up TJ and Cassie because they met together on that bus and there was a little bit of synergy there. Or maybe they were trying to set up Carlos and Ashley because they were flirting a lot during the whole soccer game and I want to walk you home and I hope your parents ain't there because we're about to do something. You could tell that they were trying to figure out who matches better with who. But the decision by the writing team not to actually go forward with that made the season a little bit better. The finale of Turbo was so good. The finale of Turbo was good enough to make up for some of the cringe. Just a little bit of the cringe. The final being the chase into space. It's a two-part saga that features the Power Rangers and the Power Chamber getting completely run over everything getting destroyed, Alpha 6 giving you another great quote,
What a complete catastrophe stroke.
and the Ranger team being extremely courageous and going off into space to go chase Divatox and hopefully be able to save Zordon. That was extremely courageous. I love the visual of the power chamber being overrun by Piranhatrons. I thought that was really, really cool, really well done, had high stakes. Power Rangers Turbo, what does it get? What does it deserve? Power Rangers Turbo gets a mother freaking F plus. Because you know, there's a big difference between an F and an F plus. This is one of the worst seasons of Power Rangers, y'all. This is a bad season all the way around. The cast change in the second half of the show significantly helps everything flow better. If Power Rangers Turbo had to suck and lay the groundwork for In Space to be the GOAT season, I'm cool with it, because I cannot wait to watch Power Rangers In Space. Now, I'm not watching In Space yet, but by the time y'all watch this review, I'll probably be halfway through Lost Galaxy. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Remember, I had to give y'all some cringe on the way out, man, because I love that song. I don't know what the hell it is, but I love that cringe. I love that cringe. Anyway, it's been weird, but it's been real. Get out of here, bitch.
4G's on the G. I jump into the bloody bottoms is underneath. Cause all my niggas got it out the streets. I keep 100 racks inside my jeans. I remember hitting them